Hi all and welcome to the preview of Fantasy Premier League for the Game Week 3. It has been an exceedingly interesting game weeks when we talk about Game Week 1 and Game Week 2, and we saw some stunning results, whatever happened in Game Week 2, how a couple of teams continued playing brilliant football like West Ham, Liverpool, Chelsea, and saw some exciting encounters. And when we talk about Game Week 3, we would also see that there are a couple of very close games which are in the offing, and a couple of teams have easier fixtures. So once we discuss about this game week, particularly we'll be talking about who would be the top, who were top players which we suggested in the last game week and how they performed. What about the transfers which you need to do for this game week, and the teams which have easier fixtures as well, plus who should be your captaincy picks. So before we start, I would request you to subscribe to our channel, and we present FPL tips for all the game weeks of English Premier League football. So now look at how what we suggested you in the last game week and how players actually performed. So if you see, we told you that I think Danny Ings is a very good choice, and I think he did fairly well. He got 8 points, he got 1 goal and 2 bonus points also. The only disappointment I would say what we suggested in the last game week was Ivan Toney. I have high hopes from Ivan Toney because what he did in the championship football, but somehow we saw that he has not even opened his account so far this season. But I still feel that he's due, and Brentford would have really high hopes from him. So it would be interesting to see. But yes, one of the disappointments of what we recommended last week. Pogba had an assist in the last game. United only scored 1 goal, which was scored by Mason Greenwood. The goal was assisted by Pogba, and again Pogba had an impact in the game. There was one run which he made brilliantly, and he could have scored in that game as well. So he had a decent return, but not a very big one, I would say, but kind of an okay return. Marcus Alonso again, I think he would be one of the best defenders along with Trent Alexander-Arnold for this. As far as if I talk about the early part of the season, so I believe that he would again have a great role to play. So we would have, I would say, Chelsea would have a lot of chances to keep clean sheet because of the players they have. So it's going to be very interesting for them. So if you talk about the last player, Mikel Antonio, I think he has got a super start to his West Ham career for the season, and 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 bonus points, super performer. And once we talk about some of the fixtures which West Ham would be having in the next game weeks, I think he is definitely a player must in your team before his value really shoots up, because he's still at a pretty affordable rate, and you should not waste time in getting him in your teams. So let's talk about the dream team which was there in the last game week. And again, if you see the teams which did really well, Hugo Lloris, Tottenham had a great start to their campaign, clean sheets, and I think Lloris again was very impressive. Lot of saves, bonus points, and obviously clean sheet. So Lloris will be a very, very strong player going forward as well, because Tottenham looks to be a little bit more organized under Nuno, and I think that would continue. If you would have seen Chelsea versus Arsenal, I think James had a super game. If in the first game it was Alonso who had an impact on the left side, but this game James had a great, splendid game coming from the right, and in fact scoring that goal. And he was always a menace for Arsenal, how he played and how he connected well with Lukaku and other players also. So a good player to look forward to for this, I would say, for this Chelsea side as well. Tyrone Mings, from where he left off in the last season, again Aston Villa, even though they have lost Grealish, they still have a very strong team, and I believe that they would definitely be very respectable for this season as well. Duffy scored a goal for Brighton, and Hove did well from that from that corner, really a good header. And Man City had an absolute ball against Norwich, and Laporte was also there, clean sheet, goal, bonus points. So he had that great game as well, which was a pretty routine game for City. Trent has again started brilliantly, and with Van Dijk and Matip back, I think it gives a lot of leverage to Trent also to go probably play almost in the midfield as a wing back, as a full back. I mean, he's always there running up and down, and he obviously has very strong key passes and a contender for assist and even a goal from set plays. But the only challenge with Trent is that he's valued around 7.5 to 7.6. That's pretty high for a defender, but it's worth it if you have saved some money from forward and midfield. I think you can invest in Trent because he's going to be very consistent to supply goals for Liverpool. Midfield, as I said, Benrahma. I think he has got a tremendous start, and how West Ham are playing. They are playing with a swagger. They're playing with a purpose. They have also got Kurt Zuma now in their ranks, highest paid player in their history. So with them toughening it up at the back again, it gives a lot of chances for Benrahma, Mikel Antonio, all the super players of West Ham to actually go forward and express themselves. So good time for West Ham, and Benrahma is somebody I would personally would like to have it in my team as well. And then we talk about Greenwood, Mason Greenwood. Even Solskjaer thinks that he is one of their best forwards. I would say clinical forwards for Manchester United by virtue of his finishing, by his work rate. So this guy is again, you need to look how he's going to perform, but I would still be a little pensive, or I would still think twice before having him in his team, because United can always rotate Greenwood with Cavani, maybe Martial if he plays up front. So that is one player which I would still keep it hold on. Same with Klich. Klich has, last season he started brilliantly, but then he tapered off at the end. But Leeds, you can never be sure how the players are going to respond, what kind of players would be performing when, because Bamford still needs to fire for this season. It has not started yet. So Klich has he had a very good game. And Mikel Antonio, as you said, that was one of the picks which we told you for last week also, and he did that brilliant job of scoring 2 goals. He went past Paulo Di Canio as the highest scorer for West Ham also last game week. So his confidence level is very high. The way he's playing, his finishing, the support he's getting from the wing backs, from the midfield, I think there is a lot of reason to believe that this is going to continue for a while now. Gabriel Jesus, again, from the tactical point of view, he's playing on the wings, which never used to happen earlier. So, but he's enjoying that role of playing the right from the right wing. How he's coming through, he's entering, D from the side, putting assists, scoring goals. I think Jesus, the only challenge with City is obviously that you cannot be sure that which player is going to start consistently for them. But seeing Jesus and seeing the way he has played and the impact he is having in the team, I think he is somebody now, at least you can bank upon it. But even though you're not so sure about how City rotates their players, but a good player to have. So let's look at the team with the easier fixtures. Now, I think Aston Villa has an easier fixture away. The player which you obviously can pick up is Danny Ings. That's one. Leeds has a game at Burnley. Burnley has looked slightly out of sorts for this in the season so far. Leeds can definitely have a ball. So Bamford is there, Klich is there, Philip is there. You have a lot of other players which you can look at. So their attacking teams, again, they play attacking football only, so you can have them. Leicester has a game against Norwich. Now Leicester has started well in the last game. There was an unfortunate red card for Jose Perez, which was actually a very contentious decision if you would have seen that game. So Leicester had that disappointing outing against West Ham wherein they conceded 4 goals, but I expect them to bounce back against a very low on confidence side like Norwich. So they can thump in some goals, and Jamie Vardy can be one of the players who can give you points along with Telemans, and we talk about we talk about Madison, so they can be a really good addition for your team as well. Newcastle, very disappointing so far in the season, but let's see what they can do against Southampton. But I do expect them to come back to the form as well. Now, another easier game I would say is Tottenham against Watford. Watford again is a promoted side. They started well in the first game. In the last game, they lost. I would say pretty comfortably to Brighton. So Tottenham is again has a very good chance of keeping a clean sheet there, and even Harry Kane, now he played the last game. I think he's clarified now that he's staying. So if he does that, I do expect him to start and probably give you some points. The last game we talk about is West Ham versus Crystal Palace. West Ham, I think, has looked the most impressive sides along with Chelsea, Liverpool, City. Even though City lost the first game, but they are obviously they are there and thereabout only. So West Ham against Crystal Palace. Now Crystal Palace did well to get 1 point in the last game. So Patrick Vieira would at least be happy to get out the mark. But I do expect West Ham they have that prowess to overcome this challenge from Crystal Palace and eventually register a comfortable victory. So you can have West Ham defenders also, maybe Kurt Zuma. If everything happens within time, he can start. Kofal is there, Ogbonna is there, so you can have, and obviously you cannot forget Aaron Cresswell as well. But again, as the forward line, as I said, Said Benrahma, Antonio, you should definitely have in your team. Now, let's look at the suggestions which we are putting in for the next game week. Now here, one of the most interesting thing is that not only we are discussing about the teams which are having their next matches, but it is far more important for us to understand that what are the next 5 fixtures we expect teams to have, because with that we would at least have that long-term strategy. I would say 5-match strategy can be long-term in fantasy, to pick up players who not only or may not give you 100% rewards in this game week, but at least your transfers are secured for the next upcoming game weeks, wherein then you can invest on a couple of players you would be eyeing also before their value really shoots up. So Tanganga, I have picked Tanganga because I think Tottenham has looked really solid and resolute with a team like Watford coming into their home and the confidence with which Tottenham is playing. And Tanganga has been a revelation as of now. So I think he is somebody whom I am going for. I think he would be a real asset. And if you see the next 5 games, you have Watford, Crystal Palace and Aston Villa as easier games. Chelsea and Arsenal, tricky game. Arsenal, maybe they need to pick up their game. If not, then obviously Arsenal becomes a decent game for Tottenham as well. So there is a lot of scope for Tanganga to get some clean sheet points and maybe get some bonus points also if Tottenham emerge victorious and Tanganga has good games. Then we'll talk about Dennis as a Watford player playing against Tottenham. It would be tricky because I've said if I'm backing Tottenham to get a clean sheet, then obviously Dennis would struggle to register points apart from his playing 2 points. But if you see the next 4 games after this one, then I think we have a lot of pointers to get for Watford, because Wolves home, Norwich away, Newcastle home, even Leeds away. Leeds don't have a very strong defensive record, and I don't think that they would keep many clean sheets the way they are playing this season as well. So Dennis, even though he may not be your instant pick for the next game week, but you can keep him on the bench if you have money, and probably you can bring him in for the next 4 to 5 games post this game. Next I've picked the old world horse Jamie Vardy. Now Jamie Vardy for me is a fabulous player, one of my favorites, because he would be there and thereabout scoring 15 20 goals every season. Next match again, extremely struggling Norwich. As I said, Leicester can definitely run riot in that game, and Vardy with obviously taking penalties, always being the main man forward, so he can definitely rake up goals again at 10.5. His value might very well go to 11 very soon if he continues with the goal scoring form which he has done over the years. Next 4 out of 5 games are relatively straightforward for them. Norwich away, Brighton away, Burnley home, Crystal Palace away. The only game which is tough for them is Man City home, but I do expect Leicester to at least score goals in that game. It's a home game for Leicester, so again Jamie Vardy has chance to score in almost all the 5 games. The next player is the I would say one of the most feared striker in the world these days, which is Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku at 11.5, you may find it a little bit on the higher side of the budget, but even though they have tough games, Chelsea have tough games in the three of the next five games against Liverpool, Tottenham, and City. You always would feel that Lukaku would be among the goal scorers, right? Whenever he has played in Premier League or Serie A, he is always a 20 plus striker, and I don't think he is going to stop anytime soon. And the way he has been playing in the last couple of games, in the last couple of seasons, he's maturing, is at that age of peaking at this time. So forget about any opponent and forget about where they are traveling. I think he would be definitely among those players who would definitely be able to score a lot of goals. Again at 11.5, might quickly raise to 12.5 if you don't move quickly for him. Next player is Said Benrahma. As I've said, the link-up play along with Mikel Antonio has been good. The front four of West Ham United is really menacing. So got 16. I mean his next match is against Crystal Palace home. I don't think Patrick Vieira can get another clean sheet like he got in the last game against Brentford. I think 4 out of next 5 games are pretty straightforward and manageable as far as Benrahma is concerned, as I've said earlier as well. So definitely you should get him in your team. Just 6.3 is an absolute steal these days about somebody who is playing such an attacking football, linking up as an attacking midfielder. So I am definitely getting him in my team. Now, if I talk about my team in the last game week, see, I had a very disappointing game week. I got 63 points, just 63 points with a ranking of 2.4 million, which is not, I don't expect to be languishing at that point, but it is still start of the season. I am also trying to figure out the combinations and permutations, how it's going to be. Last game week, the challenge which happened was that even though my defense did fairly well, I think everybody performed in their own capacities. My midfield was really disappointing with Fernandes, Salah, Son and Sarr, nobody contributing whatsoever. So that was one of the reasons why I lost it, and my captain was Salah, and I did expect at least Salah to score some goals against Burnley, and he had scored one goal but he was an inch offside and it got ruled out. So I'm not so disappointed with that. I think I would have better opportunities with this team, and I have made some changes which I would let you know when we talk about it, which players I'm getting in, which players who would not be part of my team. So if I talk about my team, so again I've taken -4. I've done 2 transfers, but I think first 3 to 4 game weeks, how I always go about it is to ensure that in the first 3 or 4 game weeks I am also trying to get to a team which would be reaping rewards, not only in one game week, but it's a season. You have to play for the season and not for just one game week. So I think this is one of the teams which I feel would be I think it is pretty closer to what I want, although there is a scope of 1 or 2 players which I am looking to bring in, and let's see how it goes. But I've gotten Benrahma, as well as I've gotten Tanganga. I've got because he is starting regularly. Tottenham looks to be playing in a way that they would get clean sheets this season. With 4.5 as a value of Tanganga, I think for me, it's a relatively cheaper option. With Watford home, I expect them to get a clean sheet. Another change which I have done is Benrahma, and I have let go Stuart Dallas again. I like Stuart Dallas as a player, but the rewards which Benrahma would be giving me right now, it looks like it would be more than what Stuart Dallas can give me, and hence I have got this. So I am playing 3-5-2 for this game week. I have kept Pukki in the bench because he's still not delivered anything, but I do expect him to at least to play a big role going forward. Ben White is injured, he is again there. I might look to change him in the next fantasy fantasy week, game week 4. And Simicals, I've kept it on the bench, not only because it's Chelsea home, but I feel that Robertson would start this game. But let's see, this is my team. I feel that this would be a decent enough team for me to get some good points for this game week. So my captaincy picks, if I talk about my captaincy picks, if I talk about what my heart says, I think being a Liverpool fan, I am expecting Salah to do really well in this game, even though Chelsea would definitely be a very tough team, probably the toughest for this season. But I do expect a player of his caliber to raise his game and actually score a lot of goals against Chelsea. I might change this to Antonio before the game week starts. I might get him because he's playing against Crystal Palace, and I think that would be a relatively straightforward game for him. And let's see how it goes. But between these two players, that would be my choice. So thank you so much. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for following what we have been doing in fantasy football. We do publish our fantasy teams every game week and Dream 11 teams of all the Premier League matches which are there. So do subscribe to our channel. You can always leave a comment if you feel that we can add a little bit more content on whatever we are presenting. We would be really happy to incorporate that. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best for this game week. Cheers.